The purpose of the Global CFO Council is to provide an educational and networking forum for senior financial executives in order to share best practices, discuss current financial issues, and to learn about current topics related to the performance of their jobs. Membership is open to senior financial executives including CFOs, financial VPs, and treasurers. We hope that you'll become a member of the Global CFO Council today. To join, please visit the membership tab at globalcfocouncil.com.
Good morning for me and good afternoon, almost evening for you. Is that right, Vartul?
Good evening, good Friday evening for me, and it's a rainy day here, so great day.
What is the future like? It's 5 o'clock where you're at and only 7 where I am. I always feel like you're a space traveler. You know the future because it's 5 o'clock on a Friday. Was Friday a good day?
It's not really a good day. Unfortunately, for me, my day starts very late because I work with a lot of time zones and it ends up late. So Friday evenings, I'm usually cribbing about why I'm here, what am I doing with my life? But yeah, it gets better on a Saturday morning. Monday mornings are relatively better because action starts very late.
Well, Vartul Jain was the CFO, now the Senior Vice President of Gray Orange. It looks like that is a global technology company with emphasis on AI and mobile robotics. Super fascinating. I am really interested to learn about that and the future of logistics. Based out of New Delhi, India. Looks like Associate's Degree, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and a Bachelor's of Commerce from Delhi University. Long history of senior executive positions at Samsung and GE. And folks, we got a celebrity with us. Top 100 CFOs in India, published by the CFO magazine. Here today, Vartul Jain.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for the introduction. It's not as fancy as it sounds, but yes, thanks for putting it that way.
Well, let's get into question number 1. What is your favorite business book and why?
So I guess a lot of us, or most of us, do a lot of reading in whatever positions we are. One book which I read, I think it's almost been 10 years, but I think it's top of my mind even today, is my all-time favorite. It's a book called It's Your Ship. It's by Captain Abrashoff. It was written by him after taking command of USS Benfold. When he took command of the ship, he realized it was run in a very, very confusing way. There were no processes. The morale of the sailors and the team members on the ship was just in shambles. And he realized very, very soon that it was like any business. It was just a lot of latest technology on the ship, but very little productivity. He knew that it was his responsibility for improving the productivity. And to use that, he had to use his leadership skills. So it's all about using leadership skills on a big carrier like USS Benfold, how similar it is and how he's able to sort of give examples which you're able to really correlate and bring into your practice in day-to-day life in business. I think it's very, very simply laid out. So within months, he created a crew of very confident, inspired, problem-solving, eager people who would sort of willing to take responsibility for their actions. And I think eventually the slogan of every person on the ship became "It's your ship," which basically meant it's your company. Take ownership, take responsibility, solve for it. Don't partake in blame games. Don't say this is mine, this is yours. It's your ship. Run it the way you would run your ship. I think I've learned a lot about it. It's amazing the amount of sense of ownership it instills in you after reading it. I think that's commendable.
I love that nugget that you had there around technology but no productivity. How often that can happen, applying technology solutions, but there's no productivity or not the productivity that was justified for the purchase. How true that is.
And it applies to all of us, right? It applied to his massive aircraft carrier, but it also applies to all of us. I mean, you can put a the latest SAP, or you can put a Atlassian system, you can put whatever, right? But unless you have that productivity, unless you have the eagerness to do what you're supposed to do, you really can't do anything with it, right? It's just dollars down the drain.
Vartul, question number 2, what is the best advice that you've ever received?
So a major part of my life, a professional career, was spent with GE, which was 12 years, and then Samsung, which was another 5 years. And after that, I got opportunity to work in this startup called Gray Orange. It's a startup in the robotics space, which sounded very nice and sexy at that point of time when I joined. It was like startup, robotics, wow, what can I do here, right? But again, I wasn't ready for what a startup is all about. Uh, when I joined, there were no systems, there were no processes, there was pretty much nothing over there, right? There were months when we had no cash. We would, as a CFO, I would clearly see there's no cash. Cash is running out, right? How do you pay salaries? How do you do this? How do you do that? Or they were when COVID came, right? There was a lot of decisions which had to be taken. Do we want our business to run in all geographies in the world? Do we not want it? How do you do it? Uh, there were times when I would look back and introspect on the decisions I had taken and then think, did I do the right thing? Maybe not. There were others who would come and say, oh, how did you react? And I would say, this is what we did. And they would like, not, doesn't sound great, right? And these would be investors or other executives on the company. And they'll say, oh, why didn't you actually do that? Why did you take this decision, right? So I received this advice one day saying, look, you make your decisions in whatever circumstances, knowing whatever is happening around you. You take your best decision, you put your best foot forward. Don't look back and defend your decision to others, because only you know why you took that decision and what compelled you to take that decision, right? If you look back 3 years later, you won't remember half the things why you did it. But what was your emotional state of mind? What was happening around you? Did you have cash? Did you have auditors? Did you have this, that? There are 1,000 influencing factors, and you are the leader. You're supposed to take a decision. So you did whatever best you could have. Don't defend your decision to others, and don't feel bad about it after you've taken. I think I really follow that philosophy now. Uh, Once you take a decision, live with it. It's the best decision you could have taken. Don't feel bad about it.
Oh, that's good advice. I needed to hear that today. We are thorough by nature, CFOs, and once you have done the research and you make a decision, you gotta forgive yourself if it doesn't go perfect, and you gotta move on. That's so good.
We just keep killing ourselves over it. Oh, I should have done that. I should have done. No, it's good. All good. I mean, you did your best. Have confidence, right? Live with it now.
Bartul, I got high expectations for the next question. It's about a tool, right? You work at a technology company that does super cool things with AI and robotics. So, what is a tool that you've recently started using that you have found beneficial?
So, sorry to disappoint you on this one. I think I will not talk about a latest robotic tool or anything which you were expecting. I will talk about something uh, which was maybe prevalent centuries ago, right? So, what happened 6 months back? I met with an accident, and it was bad, and I had to sort of go through multiple surgeries. I was on the bed for almost 3 months. And during this period, I learned how to meditate. So the tool I'm talking about is meditation. I think I gradually started with a couple of minutes in a day. Over the last 4 months, I've been doing it. Today, I've sort of come up to almost 15 to 20 minutes of meditation a day, and gradually adding more yoga into it as well. And together, I cannot tell you the amount of impact these two, the positive impact meditation and yoga is having on my life. I think it's amazing. The amount of appreciation for small things in life, which I would otherwise take for granted in my professional and personal life, right? You learn to appreciate small things others are doing for you, or you just take for granted, which are around you, and you say, oh, I expect it should be there. No, don't expect. Be grateful that you're getting it. It changes your mindset, it changes your outlook towards people, It changes your relationship with people. And I think that's what's happening with me. And it's bringing immense amount of peace in my mind, which obviously reflects in my style of working as well, because I am no more the same person with other people in the team or my peers. It's a very nice and calm approach towards things, and I think that's the tool which is really helping me. Sorry to disappoint you, it's not the latest technology tool, but I love it. I mean, I think it's great.
Well, some of the best habits have a foundation that's been around for centuries, that there's just a truth to them. And I think mindfulness and clarity of focus that can be found through meditation is really important. And I have to say, if my wife was present, I have been giving her a little bit of a hard time. She's wanted me to do yoga for a long time. I'm like, no, 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 no. I do other types of exercise, yoga, but I did it. Holy cow. It is a great stretch, great for focusing, unbelievable workout on muscles I didn't even know I had. I was sore in places that I didn't know I had body parts. So it was fabulous. I'm like a new convert. This is like the past week, I'm a convert into yoga. I'm like, wow, why have I not been doing this?
Yeah, try meditation along with it. You'll be a totally new person.
Ooh, bringing it. Question number 4. Speaking of the awesome place that you currently work at Great Orange, what is the best part of your current job?
I think absolutely, hands down, the amount of travel I get to do. We have operations stretching from Japan to Europe to North America to South America. And earlier, with my CFO role, when we were expanding rapidly across the world, setting up legal entities, hiring auditors, bankers, amount of travel had to do to each of these geographies. I think meeting people in these geographies, understanding just the way they behave, their culture, how they talk. I think it's awesome. It's a great experience. Unfortunately, a lot of it happens over Zoom today, but the first 3-4 years of my journey with Grey Orange, I made the most of it, understanding these cultures, and I really felt that even if you get to spend one day with a person in person over there in his country or wherever he is, your amount of understanding towards that person and the relationship you build, it changes you professionally, and how you behave with that person, it changes. You can have as many meetings on Zoom, it doesn't really help. That personal connection never comes. So the best part I think about my job is the amount of travel I get to do and meet all these people in person. I think it's amazing. And now with the business role, it's increased ever so much. So yeah, I'm loving it.
What do you see global travel opening up a little bit more, a little bit less, in same as the middle? What do you see global travel? That's a big what is it different for different places that you have offices?
I think for us, it's opened up totally now. I mean, I've in the last 6 months, since we've not seen any COVID around, I've made multiple trips to Atlanta, multiple trips to UK. I think for us, travel is back to normal. And even with the customers we meet, a lot of these are getting back into office now. So travel is starting to happen. And you see the airfares, right, where they're shooting it. It clearly shows you what's happening.
Question number 5. What is something personal that you wouldn't mind sharing with the rest of the CFO Council members?
So I think I started my career with the small company that it is today, which is called GE. Unfortunately, it's where it is, but I think it's still the best company anybody can work for. The amount of investment GE does in people, and the amount of training that's given to each and every employee. That's the primary reason they turn around so many fantastic, great leaders. I think it's a factory of leaders. My 12 years with GE, I think I got prepared to take up any challenge, any opportunity that came my way. Uh, as I look back over the period of time I've been working, I think I've worn a lot of different hats, be it CFO, be it CHRO, be it CIO, and now a business leader. I think in all humility, I'm proud of what GE has made me out to be. I was not able to just step into these roles. I think I was able to exceed in expectations in all humility. So it's been a good journey.
They clearly prepared you to be one of the top CFOs in India. So, and I've heard nothing but great things from former GE employees. So that's a great thing to have on your resume for sure for the rest of your life.
Oh, yes, yes. I think my
Last question.
loyalties towards GE as a company would never go away. The respect that company generates, I think it's awesome.
Question number 6, last question. It happened so fast. What is something that I should have asked you, but I didn't? And what is your answer to that?
I think that was one of the toughest questions, Bob. I really had to think about it, but I'll try and do justice to it. I think the question would be, what advice would I give to young finance folks as a CFO? And the answer to that would be, I think, as I said earlier, G gave me an opportunity, and it gave me many opportunities. And one of them was to move cross-functionally out of finance. And I went into a commercial role. And this was followed by Samsung, where in the next 5 years, I was leading a new business line, setting up their healthcare business in India, where I actually moved away from finance to a certain extent before coming back to the CFO role with Grey Orange. One advice I would really give to every finance folk that you should at least spend 6 months of your early career out in the field with the sales team. I think every CFO should make it mandatory for their team members to really be out there in the field with salespeople, meet customers, understand business. I feel it really changes the mindset. It really helps you understand business much, much better. It's very easy for finance people to sit behind their laptop in head office and say, look, this is the payment terms, look, this is the policy, please follow this, I will reject this, I will do this. But when you're sitting in front of a customer and negotiating order, you can't say, look, Mr. Customer, I will only accept this order if you give the payment terms as my finance team wants you to do, right? You can't do that. You have to go all out and get business. That's what you're supposed to do. And when, as a finance person, you're sitting with a salesperson in front of a customer and going through this discussion, that's when you realize, oh, what have I been doing? It's a different ballgame out here, right? And how can I really support and grow the business? I think that really changes, right? And for me, I think one day I realized it was a different journey to get that customer order and win it against competition and get the order. And I was celebrating. And it was the first order I was able to sort of win along with the salespeople. But when we came back and logged the order in the system, the finance team pounced on us and said, oh, we can't accept this order. Go get this amendment, go get this changed. And it was an equally tough battle to fight our finance team and internal teams as we had fought the competition, right? And that's when I realized, look, it's every finance person should go out, spend 6 months. It changes your outlook, it changes your thought process. And obviously, every team in the company is doing what they're supposed to do. Finance team, I mean, obviously is supposed to do this. It's their job. But just because you've spent those 6 months, 1 year out in the field, you're able to understand the perspective, how others are feeling, where they're coming from, what's happening, and then you take your best decision. I really feel it's very, very important.
Seems like such a great idea, and that one where, in addition to the knowledge we would all gain, the relationships that we would build with the sales and growth leaders because we were out there helping and being a part of the solution instead of just being the chief no officer. That seems like those relationships would be awesome.
Yeah, it's direct investment in yourself as a person is the way I see it.
Vartul, this has been fantastic. I got some notes here, 2 pages full of notes that I kept. I saw some themes here around taking risk, take ownership, do your best, don't look back. And I love the advice about getting out there wherever you work and learning how to either make the product and or how to sell the product and services, that you certainly gain a lot. And I think I'm going to start my day off with some meditation here. And I very, very much appreciate getting to speak to you and learn from you. And thank you very much.
It's a pleasure being here. Thanks for having me, Bob. Have a good day.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.